Welcome, pilots. We've been selected to participate in the Command Network Program Trial Runs. According to the brass, this is a new operating system that will be used in the central computers of our birds and tied to the navigation and comm systems of all our cap ships and stations. The CMP provides what they call a unified command and control framework and is supposed to help increase efficiency throughout the fleet. Of course, we've all heard the rumors. The CMP is supposed to turn a rook or nugget into an ace. We've been given the honor of putting that to the test over the next few weeks. You have been selected because you represent our top pilots. I'll address the rooks later. Your feedback on the auto-assist systems developed for the CNP will be critical in how it will be deployed in the fleet. For those of you volunteering for these tests, you'll be getting double pay. But I know that shore leave on Virgon is at the front of most of your minds before we ship out. I know some of you, like Obit, owe a few too many cubits on Palace, so I suggest you take this opportunity to move your finances out of the red and into the black. Those who have decided to take part in these tests meet in the briefing room in 10 minutes. That is all.
The Battlestar Theseus is taking part in the Command Network Program test trials. You are to follow instructions and familiarize yourself with the CNP interface for your Mark 7 Viper. We will be monitoring your performance with the CNP and gauging it against your standard combat performance. Your reaction time in standard maneuvers and targeting protocols will provide key data the brass needs in order to decide whether or not to implement the CNP. Don't flub this, we need honest assessments. But if you get bright ideas and start throwing off your performance because you don't want to see the CNP used, just remember, you're going to end up as a little outlier that the eggheads will ignore. Keep in mind, pilots, the brass is likely going to implement the CNP, regardless of our recommendations. So, use this as an opportunity to familiarize yourself with how our birds are going to be flying from now on.
Theseus. Clear forward. Nav concrete. Interval check. Thrust positive and steady. Just need a thumbs up and you're out of here. Goodbye.
Welcome, pilot. Lieutenant Manhart here. You know me as call sign Shadow. I'll be serving as your instructor for the duration of these exercises. For the time being, your flight controls have been locked. You will regain access to them one by one as we progress. We will begin with a test of your basic targeting controls. These should not differ much from the controls you are already familiar with on a non-CNP Viper. Cycle through all available ships in the area until you target Drone 2. The two drones near you are marked as hostile. Cycle through hostile ships until you target Drone 1. Your Viper's auto-targeting functions have also been improved by the CNP. As a refresher, auto-targeting selects the hostile nearest to you and also updates to a new target when your current target has been destroyed. Enable auto-targeting now. The CNP also has improved functionality for targeting friendly craft. For the next exercise, I have marked both drones as friendly. Cycle through all friendly ships in the area until you target the Theseus. Your most basic targeting option, selecting whatever ship is under your targeting reticle, is also supported on a CNP-enabled craft. Drone 2 should be under your reticle. Target it now. The CNP allows even quicker response to pilot movements, and auto-compensates for maneuvers the pilot is incapable of withstanding. You should find that you can turn much more quickly and with less danger of black or redouts than before. Drone 2 is going to execute some basic maneuvers you are to mimic. First, you are to bank until you are aligned with the drone. Good. Now use your thrusters for lateral and vertical movement to center the drone in your reticle. Test your pitch and yaw controls by turning to first face drone 1, then drone. With the CNP, a Viper's automatic speed matching functions should now better predict the actions of enemy craft and react faster to any changes. Match speeds with and follow drone 2. Match speed only works for your currently selected target, unlike auto match speed, which stays enabled if you switch targets or if your current target is destroyed. Now turn on auto match speed and target drone 1. You should notice that your speed changes. Then target drone 2. Despite some requests for it to do so, the CNP will not disengage cruise or match speed settings even if you fire your engines or engage the afterburner. This fault can be used to your advantage. Use your manual acceleration controls to first approach drone 2 and then tail it at a distance. Your afterburners are also more efficiently managed on a CNP-enabled Viper, causing less wear and tear on your fighter and reducing maintenance costs. Engage your afterburner to close within 150 meters of drone 2. Now come to a complete stop. We will now refamiliarize you with the escort list functions. Bear in mind that drone 1 is marked as hostile. Now add both drones to the escort list. You can cycle between the ships on your list. Clear the escort list when you're done. Using the communications menu, order drone 1 to return to the Theseus. Activate the nav point system now. We will need it for the next exercise. With the CNP active, you should also have greater computer control over cruising presets. Fuel efficiency in 1/3, 2/3, and full throttle modes is also higher. Travel towards nav point 1 and try the cruise speed settings now. Despite objections from CNP programmers, you still have the option to turn off all while gliding. This concludes our basic CNP exercises. You may further familiarize yourself with the new systems over the next few minutes if you choose. When you are finished, you are cleared for a CNP-enabled automatic landing sequence on the Theseus. Approach the port dorsal flight pod when ready.
This is Raptor 118. CNP techs are aboard. Requesting landing clearance.
Obed, you are authorized to land in the starboard dorsal flight pod.
Will go, Theseus.
Viper 814, Theseus. Skids down, mag lock secured.
Pilot, you passed the basic command network program exercises in a satisfactory manner. Although some of the new CNP controls may be counterintuitive, it is good to see that our most skilled pilots are still able to perform well. Over the coming weeks, we will be involved in a series of combat exercises in the Pharsalus field. These exercises will put all of our flying skills to the test. For now, get some shut-eye, as we'll be departing Virgon with the CNP techs in a few hours. Dismissed. Alright pilots, this is the part of the exercises you've all been waiting for. We've noticed that some of the comments by the techs behind the CNP have gotten on your nerves. I believe the one about a Nugget and a CNP-equipped Viper being better than any of Theseus's pilots was the worst. I've suggested that we put this to the test in the next round of simulations. We're going to put several Nuggets through a series of tests, and we'll then play the exact same tests for you in a non-CNP Viper. We're counting on you as a skilled pilot to defend Theseus's honor here. Today's trials will compare your performance in a non-CNP Viper to our Nuggets in CNP-enabled ones. Tests will range from assessing basic skills like targeting and gaining a missile lock, to a full-scale combat trial against multiple opponents. We will then have you against one of the Nuggets in a dogfight to decide if the tech's claims really are true. Show us your best performance out there. Dismissed.
Viper 721, Theseus. Clear forward. Half concrete. Interval check. Thrust positive and steady. You are clear for launch. Goodbye.
For the first exercise, we'll be testing your ability to quickly target and face hostiles. There are 3 drones in close proximity. Use your targeting controls to quickly target and face these 3 drones. You may target the drones in any order. Test begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Viper Mark 7 is fitted with 2 primary banks, which can be cycled for single or linked fire. Set your primary weapons to linked fire now. The Mark 7 also has 2 secondary banks. Each bank may be fitted with different ordnance that can be accessed by cycling banks. Do this now. Vipers can fire missiles individually or in volleys. Set your active secondary weapon bank to dual fire now. Return your primary and secondary weapons to single fire mode for the next test. Good. Now we are going to test your reaction time with secondary weapons. Obtain a missile lock on all 3 drones. Target a drone and center it in your reticle until the lock indicator informs you to shoot. Test begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For the next trial, you must hit each target once using your guns. You will be penalized for multiple hits. Test begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For the next test, you will try to hit each drone with a single missile. The dummy warheads in your loadout are armed with pyrotechnics, so you can tell when you score a hit. Test begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For this next trial, we will review subsystem targeting. You will be required to actively target parts of Drone 1, which is now hostile. Begin by targeting the drone's sensor subsystem. Good. Now target Drone 1's communication systems. Well done. Now to complete the exercise, target Drone 1's navigation subsystem. Excellent. Remember that targeting subsystems and turrets is vital when engaging larger vessels. Vipers have the capacity to target and track active warheads. For this exercise, an assault raptor will make several bombing runs at the Theseus with training weapons. You are to intercept these warheads. Your bomb targeting system will, in order, track active warheads, craft capable of launching them, and finally, the nearest hostile if enemy fighters carrying warheads are absent. For the remainder of these exercises, your flight controls will be unlocked. Test begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you are in range of a target, your gun reticle will appear. This displays where you need to aim in order to hit your target. Just place it over your target and fire away.
Fire, pilot. You're supposed to be shooting down the missiles, not me.
Interception exercise is concluded. Targeting trials have been completed. Stand by for combat trials. For the first combat test, Drone 1 will fire missiles at you. You are to dodge or spoof them using your countermeasures. You are not to fire upon the drone. Remember to save some countermeasures for our next exercise. Test begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. authorizing drone 1. Test begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Now booting up drones 2 and 3. Be advised, these drones are armed with missiles. We will pit you against the Nugget with a CNP-enabled Viper. Set your distance to over 3,000 meters away from Blue 1 and await permission to engage. Red and Blue leads. You are now authorized, weapons free.
CMP or not, I'm gonna make you sweat. Get off my fracking 6.
Looks like the CNP doesn't turn a Nugget into an ace after all. Great work, Red Lead.
Well, sir, we all knew he could beat the Nugget. I think the real test of the CNP would be to put him up against the next highest scoring pilot in a CNP Viper and see if he can beat him.
Theseus Actual to Red Lead. This is the CAG. Obit is already in launch prep for the next round of training. We'll have you two dogfight, then I want you back here for debrief.
Okay, sir, I'm moving into position. Let's do this like you did with the Nugget and get 3 clicks between us. Sir, let's see if the CNP actually gives me the edge. Sorry, sir. Looks like the CNP is giving me an advantage. Fine shooting, sir. You almost have me. Sir, I actually beat you. Looks like the CNP really does give you an advantage.
I think that answers that question. We'll release you controls now. Since you're low on combat landing practice, we will still run that part of today's exercises.
That concludes our exercises. Red Lead, you're authorized for combat landing. Repeat, you're to manually land. Viper 721, Theseus. Approach ventral starboard landing bay. Hands on, speed 90. Check is red. Call it on.
combat landing situation, the landing officer will often call out a preferred landing bay. Remember that this is an advisory, and the final decision lies with the pilot to choose which landing bay will provide them with the least dangerous landing.
Viper 721, Theseus. Skids down, mag lock secure.
It was good to finally see Obit in a one-on-one against you. He's already said that he'll start losing to you as soon as you're more used to the CNP, though. Given Obit's scores in CNP Vipers, I'm not surprised that he beat you. Looks like there's a good challenger for the Theseus Top Gun, huh? Unfortunately, we won't be getting much more time to play with the CNP anyway. Orders have just come in for a 3-month patrol along the Armistice line. We'll probably be the last ship in the entire fleet to get the CNP upgrade at this rate. You'll have a few days to get your things in order before we ship out. I suggest you take the next shuttle to PyCon. Dismissed.